AI to create killer images and graphics without any design skills. So that's about AI can do for you. It can help you create killer uh, killer content, and it's of course not just images, it can be other content too, but AI can help you create killer content without having to do it with your own brain. You're going to use the AI's brain. So that's what it's about. And let me start off by asking you a question. There is something that every business needs today to function, and I'm not talking about profit or sales, but it's actually a core part of every business, no matter what niche you are in, whether you are running a giant factory, whether you are trying to just market to a small audience, you have a mom and pop store, or you are running a local plumbing service, whatever you're doing, there is something you always need. So give me an indication. I know that's the topic of the webinar, but I want to hear it from you guys. What is it that every business actually needs and nearly every day? Who's got the answer over here? Hint, it's staring right at you. Anybody? All right. So yes, David, that's right. Absolutely. Greg, David, you've got it right. It's graphics. So here's the point. No matter whether you're running a local business that's catering to a small crowd, even if you've got a plumbing business, you got to put out those flyers. You got to put out your phone numbers out there in the community. You got to design a card that says your name and your number and the services that you provide and let people get to you. You got to make a website which has to be presentable. You got to make sure that people who see your content actually trust you, because that's what it's all about. Graphics, copy that you write, everything that you do today to reach out to your customer, the first barrier that you need to break is trust. People need to begin to trust you, and they only trust you if they actually think that you are somebody who's a professional. And we'll come to that in a moment. But here is the big news. AI has done a lot in the last 1 year. You've, of course, heard about ChatGPT. You heard about all those language models. You can go to a LLM site like ChatGPT and you can ask a question and it'll give you the answer. It will create anything you ask it to. You can ask it to create an article, a social post, or whatever you want. It will write that. But you know what? This industry is the one that it has truly disrupted. AI has made the maximum amount of impact, not in language, but in images. Now, which one of you guys actually agrees with me here? I'm going to present this case more, but I want to know who's on board today and who really understand what it's about, that graphics has, the kind of impact that AI has had on graphics is way above anything that it has done for language or content. Because here is the thing. So far, graphics were a domain which were totally dominated by manual people. You had to be a specialist. You had to have specialized knowledge. And it's not like language, which we actually grow up with. We learn a little bit of it. Every one of us can be quite maybe to a certain extent, some of us can write great slogans, some of us can write bad slogans, but nearly everyone can write a slogan, right? But AI changed that game. It brought up an activity that you had to be specially trained for into the control of a person who doesn't need to know anything about it. So I can actually create anything today using AI. I can create beautiful photographs. I can create logos. I can create background sceneries, textures, absolutely anything you want. And I would not have to be an expert at that. That's the magic of AI. That's the disruption. It's changed the entire industry at a 180-degree angle, right? So graphic design is never going to be same again, and we'll talk more about it. There has been an event in the past of a similar nature when something like this happened. I'm going to put this in context for you and for you guys. Some of you might be challenged when I say there is a disruption, things have changed, and if you are feeling a little bit of paranoia about what you are doing today in the graphics industry, don't. All right, so let's do a quick survey. Guys, which one of you is actually in this industry? Are you doing any kind of graphic design? Are you providing it as a service? It could include website design too, anything that has to do with image and graphic design. Give me a yes so that I know who my crowd is and I can actually give you the message that you need. Meanwhile, let me just see who's here today. So I have Lindsay Bond. Wow, Lindsay, it's good to see you again. I know we had a great session at my last webinar for Bloggy and also earlier than that for Tarantula. So definitely it's a good thing to see you, Greg. And yep, always on board. Lindsay, that's a good thing to know. All right, guys. So is there anyone here who's in graphics design or website design? I see PK. PK is in websites and you do your own website. So that's very good for you because this disruption is going to make you better, it's going to make you more efficient, it's going to actually let you be more productive. But they, if you are doing that as a service, even then you don't need to have any kind of paranoia because things are going to be better, and I'm going to tell you about it. By the way, Richard from the UK, you're from the UK, welcome. I'm here in Dubai today, and I actually didn't get to know you that well because early on when we started, the audience was a little more a little less responsive, I guess, because I started webinar maybe a couple of minutes into the time zone, and you were maybe a bit distracted. So again, let's get that get out of the way. Where are you guys from? Let me know that. Let me understand where my crowd is from. So meanwhile, while you get those answers in, I'm gonna go to the next slide and tell you about something about AI that you probably didn't realize. Now, here's the thing. When you think of AI right now, most of the people are automatically thinking chat GPT. It's like the Google of AI, the first comer, the first really big impact creator. It took over the industry. So when you talk about AI today, people are thinking, hey, chat GPT, let's go to chat GPT. You can do images there, you can actually talk to it, and it can do a lot of things. But the truth is, it's not the only AI in the market. There are a lot more, and we'll talk about that. But first, I want to do another quick survey. I want to know how many AIs that you know of which are in graphics. So I want you guys to list all the AIs that you can think of that do graphic design. All the AIs that can create graphics, all the AIs that can edit graphics. Drop me a list. Let me see how clued in you guys are, how many kinds of different AIs you've used or you are aware of. I'm going to wait for that. Meanwhile, PK is asking me, is there gonna be a replay? Absolutely, PK. There is gonna be a replay, and I will have a link out to my list. So if you're subscribed to me, you will get the replay. But I do encourage you to attend the webinar because it's all about engagement, it's all about interactivity, it's all about being here to ask me questions and getting the answers there. Because I know when you listen to this webinar, you will have 100 questions. You will want to know more about some aspect of the thing that I'm explaining. So make sure you use that. So we have Richard here with an answer, C Art, Free Pick, Leonardo, and Copilot. A fantastic list there, Richard. Leonardo is a really old AI doing so well from a long time. And Copilot is actually ChatGPT in the backend because Microsoft did a little bit of a collaboration with OpenAI, and Copilot is GPT-4, and they have the DALI engine, which is again from OpenAI in the backend. So that's DALI. See art, that's new to me. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna try it out too and check it out. All right, so Jeff, you can't hear me. Just making sure everybody can hear me. Firefly, hey, that's great. You've got actually some names out there that not most people know of. So whenever I talk to people, mostly people say, hey, Midjourney, Leonardo, and Dali. So that's about it. And that's the truth of the market today. Most people know only about the first one. Like 90% of the market knows about the leader, which is OpenAI Dali, and nearly everyone else will be there in the list of people who know about the first three. So Midjourney, Leonardo, but that's it. The thing is, there are so many different AIs out there, literally dozens and dozens of them, and all of these AIs are talented, just like human beings. Some of us can do specific jobs very well. Now, I cannot draw, but if you ask me to write, I will write beautifully. I will be able to create an article that people will love. I can also color. If you give me one of those adult coloring books, I will actually color it all day. No hassles about that. So every one of them, every one of the AIs too, have a special talent too. Like if you think about DALI, for example, it's really good with backgrounds, it's really good with sceneries, it's good with creating illustrations, but it's not that good with creating faces. So it cannot create beautiful faces, beautiful models. It cannot create beautiful text. right? So whenever you ask DALI to create text, it kind of just chokes on it and it doesn't generate text that's legible. So there could be some kind of English mistake, there could be a grammar mistake, the characters could end up looking funny. So that happens. That's why you need to be able to access all the different AIs that you can so that you have options. Some of the AIs are really good at generating photorealistic images. For example, there is an AI from Amazon called the Titan AI. And this AI is great at creating photographs, better than maybe even the market leader, the Copilot or DALI. It's just not being used by people because it is accessible only to a very specific crowd. And I will come to that. Here's the thing, if you have access to all the different AIs out there, you can really explode your opportunities and your performance as a designer because you can actually design nearly everything that AI can do for you. That includes what? Logos, illustrations. You can design backgrounds, you can design ads, you can design flyers, website graphics, everything you want, you can do through AI only if you are able to get all the different AIs to you that do these tasks better than all the other AI. So it's all about being able to access the right AI. Now, here's the thing. A lot of AIs out there in the market are just not available to you. So if you go to Midjourney, you can get the access through the website. Leonardo, you can still get the access. Same thing for OpenAI. But there are actually just the tip of the iceberg. And there are many, many more AIs which are maybe created by smaller companies or created by the open source community. They don't want to put it online and maintain the expensive infrastructure. They don't want to sell it. Maybe they want to sell it, but they don't have those giant budgets to get it out there to everyone. So there's a reason why these AIs are not able to create an impact, and don't many people don't have access to these. So a couple of guys are complaining that they can't hear me. I'm just making sure here. Can you hear me, guys? So David, Jeff, are you able to hear me? Everyone else? All right, so I'm actually pretty audible to myself. As I see it, I have absolutely no problem, no difference in the settings. But doing a quick survey, guys, is there anybody here who can hear me pretty well? Like Greg, you're confirming to me the sound is good. So is there anybody else? The people here, just you could just drop me a word. Lindsay says sounds fine. Mark says, hey, I can hear you fine. Fantastic. So I'm gonna assume that most people can hear me. And Jeff and David, I would recommend you sign out of the webinar. Just use the link again to come back in. I'm sure you'll be able to hear me next. All right, so I was coming back to this point. The opportunity is to use every single AI, and most of these AIs that are not accessible to you because either they're not famous enough or they're not even available to any other person except a technical person. Like some of these AIs, if you wanted access to them, you would have to download the model and then you would have to host the model on specialized hardware with GPUs and using Python and all of those crazy things that only programmers can wrap their head around, right? So for a normal person to have access to a very specialized AI that does a specific task right, maybe like upscaling an image or removing the background of an image, it's not just accessible to them because they just don't have the option to get there. Now, here is the thing. I'm going to reveal to you all these secrets. I'm going to show you how to use the best AIs in the market in one place. I'm going to show you how to actually utilize all the best options to be able to create graphics that have a great impact. So pay attention now. I want your focus so that when we get started in this journey, we are able to get the best value out. So here's a quick review of the agenda, what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the global graphics industry. We're going to talk about how it's going to be impacted by AI and put some things in context, especially for those who are feeling a little bit challenged with AI. Now, that's a common narrative. I've been talking to a lot of people, especially the non-technical people. They are a bit more concerned about AI because they feel that their jobs could be on the line or AI is somehow going to take over the world. I want to clear the air about that, and I will be talking about it. The next is, how can AI change the design world permanently? Of course, it's actually already done that. I use AI every day for design, and I'm sure every single designer who's out there is using it more and more actively. So guys, let me ask you this question before, and while I'm continuing, what was the last time you used a graphic design AI? Was it within 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever the number of days were when you last used a graphic AI? Drop me that information in the comments while I'm continuing. Next, we're going to talk about how to edit graphics and images using AI. So if you used DALI, if you used Midjourney, if you used any of those other AIs, they're very good at creating images, but that's not the end of story. That's not something that you always want to do. Many things you want to give it an image and tell it, hey, do this for me, change it in some manner. So you want to be able to do that, and you can actually do that with AI. So I'm going to explain that. Mark says he's never used graphics AIs. Well, Mark, that will change today. Next, I will talk about my new product, Pixci AI, and why it's special. How is it different from anything else that you've seen in the market today, and how it can help you become a great designer with zero skills. And while I'm doing that, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to get a sense of what you want to achieve, and I will try to deliver that absolutely to the best of my ability. And we're going to also have some fun prizes. So at the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you, one of you guys, a free complete bundle offer with all upgrades included, all the features, all the upgrades, all the apps in it. I will give away a complete bundle deal to one of the guys at the end of the webinar. So make sure you stay with me, and one of you is gonna get lucky, and we'll find out soon who that is. But before we begin, I want to talk about who I am and what we actually do. So I am Cyril, and I'm the CEO of Technic Force Ventures LLC. We create software for online marketers. We've been doing this for about a decade now, actually a little more than a decade, about 11 years. And we have created a bunch of different tools that help people with a lot of different things. So the first, and one of the questions I want to ask you is, how many guys here actually have one of my products today, and how many have used one of my products in the past? So if any of you have used my product or you have my product today, drop me a yes so that I know that you are my home crowd. I'm talking to my homies, and I will be definitely feeling that spirit that I need to do my best for you today. Now, this over here, what you see on screen is our Google Business Review page. So right now you can see we have over 173 reviews, and we have a rating of 4.9. So I think that's pretty good rating, 4.9. I sometimes I really missed that point one. I would have been very happy to make it a perfect 5, but I've never seen that actually. Uh, Never over a 3 or 4 number of reviews. So I think this should place me in top 1% when it comes to customer satisfaction. And I can feel that from the crowd here, because a lot of people are telling me things like your products are good. So Tony is saying, I use your products. Lindsay says your products are the best. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I'm glad you're enjoying my products. Kim Kirsten is saying, yes, I have a subscription. So you have a subscription to my products, which means you are a part of my one membership. That's perfect. And I know, Lindsay, you've been here with me as a partner, as my valued customer for quite some time. It's been many years. I've interacted with you so many times. So that's a perfect demonstration of what we are trying to do here. Every product that I create is created with from my soul, because here is the thing, I'm not one of the guys who came up as a marketer. If you look at my history, I started my journey as a coder at the age of 15. So I was programming stuff, I was creating software when I was a teenager, and I actually got into commercial software production when I was 18. So I was quite young then. Now it's not the same anymore. I am 43. It's been so many years, 25 years since I've been coding. I've been writing software. So I am primarily a creator of software products. That's what I've done all my life. And every single product that I create, it's not just something that I want to sell, but it is the expression of the best of my ability and my desire to serve, to desire to create something that is of value. So I really pay attention to my software products, and that's why we have this rating. One of the reasons is that we actually take care of not just the product functionality, but also trying to help people make the best use of it. I've done several new things in the market. For example, one of those things is 24 hours live chat support. So while I'm going to show you what AI can do, but on my website, if you go to my website, you can chat with a real human being. You won't be chatting to an AI, because I want to get help to you without any gatekeepers. I want to get help to you as soon as possible. I want you to talk to a real human being who will understand your concerns and who will be able to address them the fastest. So that's the kind of standards I have maintained over all these years. It's about creating great products and providing service to back it up. Next, let's get back to the topic, the graphic design market. What's it about? What is the current status? So as it stands, the global graphic design market is at $48.1 billion in total worth. Now that is a lot of money, guys. By any standard, it's a huge market out there, and there are literally tens of, actually millions of people who are creating products or providing services to this market. And the thing is, most of these guys are freelancers, people who are working from whatever establishment they have created. They're providing a service as a service provider. Some of them might be running a small company, maybe they have a team, but a lot of them are actually working solo, providing the service, whether it's website design or graphic design, to clients on a one-off basis, then moving on, finding the next one, and it's working beautifully for them. They have been doing it for years. Right now they might be feeling a little bit challenged. I will dispel that, but before that, let me just tell you about the data that I saw yesterday. So I took a little bit of a time to visit sites like Fiverr and Freelancer and Upwork and see how many design jobs were there. And I got to tell you, I feel good about it. The number of design jobs there today are quite the same as 2 years before. So I actually get a lot of my work done from these websites, from freelancer.com, sometimes from fiverr.com too. And I like to see what's the competition, what are other people doing, how are they presenting their projects, so that I can do a fair job at that too. And I want to tell you, the number of projects out there have only increased in number. They have not reduced. And that's after AI has been here for nearly a year. And it's been in the market when every single designer is using AI a lot. And there's a reason for it, guys. The reason is businesses just don't want to get into it. Now it comes to the same thing, whether it's content AI like ChatGPT, which writes content, or whether it's graphics AI or any other AI process. Businesses wants to get things done, and the business owners or the people who are in charge, they want to get things done without getting hassled with it. They don't want to be designers. They can be designers because that's not their area of their specialty. They are process runners. They run the operations. They just want to hive it off to the designer guy, or they want to hive it off to the writer guy. Let them deal with it, let them give them the output, and if it's good quality, everyone's happy. So here is the thing I have noticed in my company, guys. When AI first came in, I thought, hey, this is gonna change my way. Maybe I will be forced to reduce my team. Maybe I'll be forced to let people go because AI is gonna just change the world. And the experience is just the opposite. In the last 1 year, I have actually hired more people. I have more programmers than before. I have more writers than before, and my designers are still all there. But what has changed? My programmers are more efficient. They can figure out algorithms faster. They can get help faster. So they're more productive. That's why I'm able to churn out all this software, all these updates in the last year. I don't know if you've noticed it. You might have noticed that I am doing a lot more in the software industry. I'm pushing out more products and pushing out more complex products that do a lot more. And it's all thanks to AI, because my team can work so much better. My graphic designers can create things so much better. So here is the message. It's not going to take away jobs. It's just going to make you so much more productive that you will be even more of value to the person that you want to serve, the person that you want to hire. Remember that. And before I go to the next line, shout out to Rush Crittenden. You were on yesterday's webinar too, and of course, Russ is an old-time customer too. Really appreciate you, and he is one of my biggest holders of Technic Force reward points. So I have never seen these many reward points with anyone, Russ. So definitely, you are my number one Technic Force reward points guy. So congratulations and thank you. Appreciate it. Now let's go and talk about the disruption. Here is the thing. Look at what's on your screen right now. The images that you see are literally not possible to be created by a designer. So even, back in those days, when AI was not here, if you wanted to create something like the first image or the second image or the fourth image or even the third image, you would need to go to the 1% of the 1%, right? The regular designer won't be even able to do any of this. Think about that. How many designers can actually sit down and create something that's on your screen? Literally none, only the 1% of the 1%. But here's what happened with AI now. Absolutely anyone can do this. All you need to have is the imagination. If you can imagine it, AI can create it. So that's the beauty of it. Now you can truly unleash and become what you want to be as a designer. And as a service provider, you can create design as a service just because you know about it, just because you know how to use it, right? So that's amazing, right? That's the point. Designers are not under siege. AI did not kill coding. Copilot and all these tools that make coding samples easier to reach have made coding accessible to more people, have helped more people learn coding, and have actually helped people who do it as a profession become better coders. I use AI every day and I don't feel challenged at all because I've been doing this 25 years. And if I feel challenged from with the technology, I would actually be anxious. But I'm so happy about this new revolution that I have pegged my company's future to it. So in the last 1.5 years, all we have done is AI. Yes, that's it. I haven't touched any other technology. It's AI every day. So that's the revolution that I'm expecting. It's just gonna make people better. Writers are not fired. Every writer that I know of who had a job in the past still has it. Now, perfect. Now, I want to put this in context because you see, I am 43. I was born in the 80s, right? So I come from a time where many of you guys might still not be born or you are too young. I know some of you guys have been with me on the same crowd, so I understand that you probably recognize what's on the screen. So this is from the 90s. This was just about the time I was breaking into the computer world. My dad bought me my first PC when I was 14. Actually, actually, I think about 12 or 13. It was a really long time ago. And I started as a designer. So I learned Photoshop. I learned a product called CorelDRAW, which was like the predecessor of Illustrator. And to do publishing, you to publish books and to publish things like, documents and all, you used a product called PageMaker, which would help you make page layouts. Back at that time, I remember the narrative then. A lot of people who were doing things the old way, the people who were typesetting text, there was these old lithograph presses. I'm sure many of you might not even remember the name, but some guy used to actually put take out metal fonts, metal characters, put it on a line to print something that would be on the paper. So it was a painfully long process. And some other guy, there were actually people called compositors who would take, who would draw something or who would write something or who would create something on the paper. Then they would put it all together, and there would be huge cameras that would be shooting those ads. If you're creating a Facebook, if you're creating a print ad or something, to turn it into something that can be printed. Now, back at that time, a lot of these people were feeling challenged too. When desktop publishing came in, they felt that they were gonna be out of the market before you know it, and nobody would have a job. But here is what happened. Here is what happened in the next 20 years. The desktop design industry boomed. It became 1000x. If earlier there were only 100,000 people worldwide who had a job like that, now there are millions of us, right? Millions of people are designers who create crazy stuff, and now it's available to a lot of other people. So I got a question here. Uh, Switch to presentation mode. All right. So yeah, guys, I know what you're saying, presentation mode. I have tried it, but it just helps me to be able to look at the next slide. So it's a little bit of a cheating. I know, and maybe okay. Just making sure here. Can you see my slides clearly? Is there anything that you can't read? I just want to make sure. I want my convenience, but more than that, I want yours. So just want to ask you, can you see things clearly? Is there anything on my screen that you cannot see? Because if you can, I'm just going to continue this way. because I can do a better presentation for you. I can give you more insights. Perfect. Thank you, Shan, for confirming that it's okay with you. So let's continue about that. This is the same revolution that happened 20 years ago. 20 years ago, a lot of new people became designers, but they still needed specialized knowledge. So instead of having to typeset things manually, which was a time bound process, they could do things faster. But now they need to learn things like Photoshop, they need to learn things like Illustrator, which are insanely complex. Now, I have struggled with Photoshop, I have struggled with a lot of different small things that I needed to do there, to get my image out there, to make that website or something that I was trying to do. And I know how painful it is to do it. Now, if you guys have tried it, you must understand what I'm talking about. But this revolution now, the AI revolution, is all about making design accessible to people who cannot even hold a mouse. So back then, AI was accessible to people who could not hold a pencil or a pen, who couldn't draw a single thing. They could go to the computer, get the computer's assistance, make anything they want as long as they had the mouse skill. But now you don't even need to hold the mouse. You can just design with you by using your brain. Let's talk about what you can create with AI. You can create photographs, you can create logos, illustrations, cartoons, text art. You can create posters, signs, banners, sceneries, textures, t-shirts, literally anything that is presentable through a graphic, you can create it. And that's why you need to use AI to power your business. So here is a little bit of a bad news. I am certain that a lot of people will go out of the jobs. Even in that era, there were some people who definitely lost their jobs, but these will not be the people who kept with the times. So if there was a guy out there somewhere who was doing this lithographic typesetting, putting metal fonts together, and he didn't learn how to do the desktop designing, he didn't want to learn Adobe Photoshop, definitely he got outdated, he got obsoleted, and he wouldn't have a job when this revolution comes in. But this is not an opportunity that you should give up or you should ignore. So this is the time when you make AI a part of every single business decision that you're taking. And of course, graphics AI is one of those things. But there's a lot more. Even business processes, you should be using AI in every single thing that you can, and trying to figure out how you can apply it, because that is what is going to power the next cycle of growth, right? It's going to power the next cycle of explosive growth for everyone in the world. So definitely make AI a part of your business. If you are a graphic designer or if you want to be in the graphics industry, make AI something that you use every day. So Mark, you've never used graphics AI before. This is the day it changes. Make sure you use it in the future. So now, here's the thing. I've talked about this before in the webinar. No two AIs are same, because you see, any AI is like a brain. It's put together with an algorithm, but the algorithm is not really predictive. People just feed it a lot of outcomes. Now, I don't know how many of you know how an AI is trained, but basically they just create a huge neural network, kind of like the one we have in our head out here in our brain. And then they tell it, hey, this is what I want to create. This is what I want to create. Go ahead and try to create it. And the AI then tries to figure out itself how to create it. And it just does a lot of iterations, like millions of iterations, to get to the point where it has the right neural networks connected to create the outcome. So while all this time you're just judging the outcome. So different AIs come to this point using different ways. That's why you've heard words like training and fine tuning, because they're trying to get those neural networks right. Here is what happens. In this process, every AI is different. So Midjourney can do this job that DALI does, and DALI can do the jobs that Midjourney does, because to reach to the point where they can actually create graphics, each one of them had a different path, right? Think about it. Now, that's why you need to get every AI working for you. Now, if you've been only using AIs like Midjourney or DALI or a couple of three, like you're talking about Free Pick or C Art, whatever you think of, it's not enough, because these AIs will only serve the first function or the second function or maybe the top three functions, but they cannot do everything for you, and they cannot do everything in enough detail for you. So that's why I created Pixci, which is the ultimate multi-AI graphics toolkit. So what does Pixie do? It actually gives you an interface to to all the different graphic AIs out there. And there are actually 25 of them in Pixie right now. And it has changed. I'm going to tell you this. I created Pixie 3 months ago. I brought it to my beta group list. I already have about 100 people using it every day. When I first launched it 3 months ago, it had 10 AIs. Last week, it had 15. And today, it has 25. That's the speed of the AI revolution. And I'm going to keep pace with it. So if you look at it next month, it's going to have more. Maybe the month after that, even more. As the market changes, as exciting new technology comes in, as the interface has developed, I will put them all together in Pixie. But let me show you what Pixie is, because that's the important part. You need to see the power of this product, what it can do for you. So who's excited for a demo? Let's take a look. Images you generated in the past. So there is a little graph for that. Just a quick check before we continue. Can you hear me? Can you hear the audio of the demo clearly? Just drop a yes if you can. Then you have the recent images over here. So these are the images that were generated by you in the recent past. You can click on any image. It will take you to the image page where you can get more details. And if there were any alternatives, you can see those too. And you can download the image very easily to your computer with just a mouse click. Now, Pixie's special thing is it makes graphic generation, graphic modification easy using multi AIs. The first thing, Pixie has not one, but many AIs working inside of it. So for example, if you look at create image, if you've gone to a website where you have tried to create images using AI, you'll be working only with one AI at a time. But Pixie actually lets you select the AI that you want to work with. We've got DALL-E 3, Stable Diffusion, Amazon Titan, Deep AI, DALL-E 2, Playground, V2, SegMind, and so many more. We have more than 15 AIs in there. And according to the workload that you select, for example, in Create Image, this is what we have. Every workload has a different mix, and some of the workloads are very specialized that work only inside of Pixie. There is no alternative out there. Now let's talk a little bit more about workloads before we go back here. Pixie has hundreds of ready-made workflows. You can create an image, you can modify an existing image, you can create a logo. If you want, you can have a person holding a sign, very good for ads. You can create comic book covers, thumbnails. You can add environments to an image. You can upscale an image, make it larger. You can remove backgrounds, convert photographs to pixels, create t-shirt art, remove blurs, convert drawings to images, restore old photographs, remove watermarks. So if you like an image on a stock photo site and you want to try it before you actually buy it, you can remove the watermark, make your design, and if you like it, then you can buy the image from the stock photo seller. You can also create avatars based on your photographs. You can put in a little bit of text from your blog and create an image for it. You can create typographic designs, enhance images, create graffiti, make posters, convert photo art to pencils, photos to watercolors. It just goes on and on. You can even change your photographs. So if you have a photograph that you want to age, you can do that. You can also select from a series of different hairstyles, give yourself a different hairstyle. You can combine people, add objects like sunglasses, convert photographs to cartoons or anime. It just goes on and on. Change your dressing style, choose from a different set of fashions, dresses. You can also create space art, lots of different kinds of backgrounds, recipe enhancements. You can colorize black and white photographs. You can remove objects from photos. You can also create signs. So if you want to run some ads on Facebook, maybe you have a lot of different options for that too. You can create bottles or product shots with text. You can have phones with text, all sorts of sceneries, sunrises, jungle shots, desertscapes, plains, everything is in here. So let's go out and try some of them. Let's start with create image. So we've got all these different AIs. Let's try and see the difference in each one of them. So here is the prompt. It's a very simple image. I'm going to try Dolly first. Here you have it. This is DALL-E. This is what DALL-E has done. Pretty realistic image. I like it. But you know what? This is multi AI. So we got to do more than that. Let's go back. And this time, let's try stable diffusion and let's see what we get. Now, stable diffusion gives you a lot more power and Pixie adapts itself according to the model you select. So here you can actually select the number of images that you want to create. So if you want to create 2 images, you can do that. And you can also select the size of the image. So if you want a small image or a big image or an image in a particular size ratio, Pixie can handle all of that. Let's just go with this right now. This is done by stability diffusion. You've got 2 images over here, pretty good stuff too. But since we are multi-model, let's try even more models. What about Amazon Titan? Now, this is a model that you will find only in Pixie. Look at this. What a realistic image. This is Amazon Titan for you. And like I said, Pixie gives you so many more different models that you can try. Deep AI, SegMind, Inimagine, different models will give you different kind of results and you will always be able to pick the right one for you. Similarly, in modify image, you can again upload an image and modify it with just a few instructions. Let's take an example. I'm gonna choose face too many this time and just gonna make myself into an oil painting. Let's try that. You can select the number of images if there is an option. In this AI, there's only one. Click next, upload an image. Let's use this one. Click on generate. And here you have an oil painting version of the image. I actually like it. They even gave me a nice setup. Again, we have multiple AI. So you could try the same thing with stability diffusion or style clip or photo maker or Leonardo. Let's try it with stability. And this time you can generate multiple images. I just drag and drop it instead. Here you go. This is what stability does. So you see the difference between different AIs. That AI, like the one that I used last time, Face Too Many, did a very different job than stability. So if you have option to select all those different AIs, all those different capabilities, you will be able to get the perfect result for yourself every single time. That's what Pixie does for you. It gives you access to every single AI. For example, for creating logos, definitely some AIs are better than others. Let's try DALI 3. Very simple setup. It's a gardening business. I want a logo for it. Click on generate. And you can see these logo options that Pixie has made for me using DALI 3. And again, let's try a different AI. What about Amazon Titan this time? So I'm going to do the same. And here is what Amazon Titan gives you. So this could be the backdrop of a very good logo that I can create. So you see what multi AIs does for you. You get to have infinite choices when it comes to design options because every AI is a unique personality, like a unique designer. So when you have access to all those designer AIs, definitely the results are different. Now, removal of backgrounds, it's a very simple process with Pixie. Just put in your image, click on next, upload your image, click on generate. And here you have the image with the background removed in a matter of seconds. No need to do all that masking and silly stuff. It's easy with Pixie. And did you notice when we went to remove backgrounds, it knew exactly which AI can do so. So we are constantly updating Pixie, adding in new AI capabilities as time goes by. And every time we make sure that you don't waste time experimenting fruitlessly. So if only one or two or three AIs can do a particular task out of the workloads, Pixie will just recommend that one. So you know, if you're going to use DALI 3 to remove backgrounds, it's not going to happen. But SegMind does it, and Pixie gives you the exact solution for every purpose. Let's try to create a banner design now. Let's use DALI 3. Look at this beautiful art that DALI created. Next, let's try the blog creation part. So this is actually going to create a blog image for us based on the text we put in, based on some article content. So let's get some content. Click on next. Let's Okay. The text we put in. Sorry about that, guys. Just going back a little bit. So this is an article from one of my blogs. I'm just gonna grab some paragraphs from it, paste it over here, select the number of images I want to make, select the size if I want to change the size. Of course, select the AI that I want to use, and then click on generate. So we got this insane pic of Sam Altman. It's funny, but perfect for the blog that I'm writing. You get what Pixie can do for you. It can make things very easy without you having to do all that manual work. This time, let's try converting a photograph to anime. So again, you have several options. I'm going to use Deep AI this time. Click on next, and I will upload this image. Click on generate. This is the anime version that Deep AI made. Let's try different AI, same image, and this is what stability created. Let's try to create a sign now. An old man holding a sign sounds good. And let's write hi there on this. And we have it. And you've got different options, all kinds of people holding different signs. You can use them in your ads, mockups, whatever you want. You can also generate scenescape. So if you want to create an oceanscape, for example, you can tell Pixie how you want it to look. Let's use Amazon Titan this time, or Segmind Vega. Okay, let's try this one. And where are you viewing the ocean from? So from coast of Phuket, click on generate. Perfect recreation of the Phuket coastline. I still remember the blue water, the ships yonder, and the islands. You can create all sorts of sceneries and animals too. So if you want to create a tiger or a lion or whatever animal you want, you can create it using multiple AIs, and you can also describe the color or how you want the animal to look. You can create buildings, literally the entire range of graphics that you can imagine. Pixie can create it, and using multiple AIs. With hundreds of workloads, Pixie is going to save you invaluable time. You'll be able to create anything in just a few clicks, and with access to dozens of different AIs, you will get the capacity to create the exact results that you want. In fact, you're going to be the best graphics AI creator in the market because you have access to every single high quality graphics AI out there. Within Pixie, no need to go out. Again, in my images, you can see all the past images that you created. They're all here for you. You can browse them. It even has the facility to search them if you want. You can sort them. You can filter them according to workloads. You can filter them according to models. All of this is out there. It's a really powerful software. So if you're ready to be the master of AI and dominate graphics design, get Pixie now with this special deal, and I will see you inside. This is Cyril Gupta signing off. Absolutely, guys. So that was the demo. How many of you were totally blown away by Pixie? Give me a yes, and I will proceed to some really interesting information about it. So Greg said yes. Russ says it's a wowzer. Kim says it's a great demo. You were blown away. Thank you, Kim. Richard, Victor, Tony, Sebastian, so many people. Tony says, heck yes, I get it, Tony. It's definitely that much mind blowing. Now, here is the thing, guys. I know that you've been using Mid Journey. I know some of you might have used DALI. Maybe some of you might have used a third or a fourth AI. If you were really deeply into it, none of you have done 25. So there are some things that Pixie really takes care of. First thing, I created in it hundreds of workloads. So what are workloads? You see, there are outcomes that you want to do with AI. Like I demonstrated something like, hey, you need to remove the background, or you need to upscale an image, or you need to search and replace. For example, you can give it a nice beach image, and let's say this one, and you tell it, hey, replace this dog with a cat. Pixie can actually do that. That's crazy, isn't it? So this product not just gives you one AI, it gives you 25, it gives you the capabilities of every single AI, but it makes them super accessible. And I think that's very important, because here is the thing, you could potentially, even if you had the technical knowledge, you would maybe host them in some place, you would get it things together. But if you went to them, you would still not be able to do a great job of using them, because you wouldn't know what AI is good for what until you experiment with all 25 of them. And somebody even actually pointed this out over here. I don't remember the name of the gentleman who actually said that, but you need to figure out which AI is good for what, right? You can't go and check 25 AIs and then there's the next five in the market. You wouldn't know what to do with that. So here is the thing that Pixie does. For every outcome that you go for, Pixie is going to actually sort out the AIs for you. So we have our team who's working for you. They're going to try out all these different AIs. They're going to figure out what AI is good for what. And then they're going to put the best AIs on the top. So let's say you were trying to remove a background. Well, maybe some AI can't even do that. Like DALI won't even do that. But there is an AI that can do it. If you want to upscale an image, there's only maybe two AIs that do it. So we'll only show you the AIs that are doing things that you want to do. And also the best AI for every purpose will be at the top. So you save time. You go right to the best AI. If you want something different, you go to the second best and third best and so on till you get exactly the image you want without having to waste hours and hours trying to find AIs that can do your job. So that's the one thing. Yes, Pixie is only for images. By the way, this is the only app that lets you edit images easily. So Midjourney can create, but it cannot edit. But with Pixie, you can upload your image and you can edit it, and in so many ways. I showed you a demo of that. Like I told you, Pixie has the perfect AI for every purpose. At this time, 25 of them. Every outcome that you go to, every workload that you go to, Pixie has the perfect AI right there. Just click a button. Maybe you need to type out one more line of information if the workload requires that, like your text message, and Pixie can create it. That's all. Now, again, I have told you this before, Pixie puts the best AI for every task on top. You don't need to figure out what works where, and you're gonna get new AI. So when I actually made this presentation, Pixie had 20 AI. So I made it like 5 days ago. Now it has 25. So in just 5 days, we were adding 25 different AIs that we got access to, and we are keeping an eye out. I can tell you this: it's gonna be coming to you very soon. Pixie is gonna have a lot more different AIs coming to you. So Teresa has asked me, by the way, I want to just answer this question. It's a beautiful question. Can it create consistent characters? So consistent characters, it means that you upload an image and you get the same character out doing something different. Well, Pixie can do consistent characters. There are some AIs that can do a good job of consistent characters, especially the new version of stability. So we have that in Pixie. You can use stability, you can upload your image and get the same image out. It will still not be the perfect version of it, but it will be quite acceptable. All right, so let's continue from here. Pixie has some unique and different workloads like remove backgrounds. I showed you a demo of it. In fact, you can upload your image, ask Pixie to remove the background. It does that in seconds. You can also upscale low resolution images. So let's say you got a low res image and you want a high resolution version of it. Pixie will do it for you without you having to do anything. So that's very important because it actually conserves the quality and maybe even enhances it. Next, it can modify images. So you can just upload an image and then ask Pixie to change what you want to change. And Pixie will actually do that. It will make that change in the image. You can design t-shirts with it. And like there are literally 150 workloads. So there is a workload. If you can imagine it, if you have done it before, if somebody has done it before, it's probably in Pixie. And by the way, here is the good news. You can even create your own custom workload. So if you think that there is something you didn't cover, you can always come and ask our team, hey, I needed this. Can you create it? My team will be happy to do it for you. But if you want to do it yourself, if you don't even want to talk to us, you want to do your own workloads, Pixie has the feature to create custom workload. Now, again, it has access to every single graphic AI. And I want to talk about this to just clarify how important it is. Now, if you wanted to go and get Leonardo today, which is the cheapest AI, by the way, out there in the market, it's the cheapest graphics AI. It costs only $9 a month. So every year you're going to be spending $100 on Leonardo AI just to get access to Leonardo. Then if you want a Midjourney, if you can you then you would have to pay something to Midjourney, maybe a similar amount, maybe a little bit more, maybe $12, $14, whatever. Then you wanted to get some other AI like stability. You're going to add some cost of that. For if you want professional version of DALI with image editing, you're going to be paying for that too. So before long, just to get access to 4 or 5 different AIs, I did the calculation. You're going to be spending north of $50 a month just for 5 AIs if you were trying to get access to them directly. Think about it. It's a very, very important thing. AIs outside of Pixci, if you had just 5, they're going to cost you about $600. But in Pixci, I give you access to all the different AIs out there for a lot less than that. And I had a question in the last webinar, Cyril, how do you manage to do this? And it's a very, very simple answer, guys. Every single development company out there, every single production company out there has 2 kinds of pricing. One pricing is for the retail customer, all the people who walk into the store, who discover the website through the ads, and they buy the retail product, which is very, very expensive because it's meant for the retail customer. Then the second pricing is for the wholesale customer. Now, I have had a long-term relationship with API providers, with creators, with vendors. And of course, I have created a lot of different software. My products are out there. Company, everybody knows the name of my business. So it's very easy for me to get into deals with all the different vendor companies, get the best pricing for from them because I'm buying things in bulk, right? So if you're gonna have like 1,000 users for Pixci, I'm buying a lot of data from them. I'm buying a lot of processing from them, right? So that's a deal that only I can make, and they give me a crazy, crazy good deal. The pricing is so much different than what you can get if you go to them, and I just pass on the advantages to you. That's the trick, guys. That's the magic behind it. I take the best pricing from them and I just give it to you instead of just keeping all the money for myself. So that's the value of Pixci. That's how it actually makes it possible. But let's look at the upgrades. So whatever I showed you in here was in Pixci Elite. All the features, all the power capabilities were just in the Elite version, only the front end, because on the Pro you have so much more. So the Pro version, firstly, it gives you 85,000 welcome credits. And I had a question here. Hey, what about the credits? I know a lot of people are edgy when it comes to credits, but I want to tell you some things. I have a professional way of doing things. I'm not going to make a commitment to you that I cannot keep. I'm not going to tell you, hey, this is free for life. And you come in, you find after 2 years, or not even 2 years, after 2 months, the software is not working now. Who has experienced this before? Tell me, give me a yes if you've experienced something like this before, where you've signed up for a product, you paid top dollars for it, and after that, it didn't work. So Russ has experienced it. A lot of people, Richard has experienced it. Tony has experienced it. A lot of people has experienced it, but you would not experience it that with my software because I only make the commitments that I can keep, and that's very important. But the good news is credits are going to be the last problem that you have. Here is the thing. If you're going to use something like stability to create an image, the amount of credits that you would be using would be 3 credits for one image. Now, there are some different and more complicated AI operations that require more credits. And of course, it's valid because you see, I'm going to tell you this, AI is the most expensive thing to run on the internet right now. Every single AI that you see out there, it's running on GPUs. Some of them are running in even more specialized hardware called the TPUs, which are specially meant for AIs. These machines are insanely expensive to run. If you think about the servers and the server farms that were giant, like for Facebook and Google, these things are 10x more powerful, 10x more, expensive to run. And definitely nobody can just give you things free of cost. So some of the AIs which require more complex operations, they're going to be more expensive. But the good news is with 85,000 credits, you're going to be able to create thousands of images. Now, I did introduce this product 3 months ago. I have about 150 beta users who've been giving me feedback, who've been testing the product for me, and they have made this product so much better. Not a single one of them has come to me to buy more credits. So I gave them these credits. They haven't used them all. I don't see any of you guys running out of credits maybe for a couple of years or even more than that. And if you run out of credits after that, it's $1 for 1,000 credits, guys. It is the best insane deal possible because I'm not keeping anything behind. whatever pricing I'm getting from the AI, I'm just giving it to you without you having to sign up to all those different AIs. Now, I have seen some products in the market that do this. They tell you, hey, okay, here is a box, put in your own API key. So what are you gonna do? Find 25 different companies and get their API keys to put in the box? It's not actually possible for somebody to do that. So this is the only way to make this product possible for you. But in the pro version, I give you a lot more add-ons. So the next thing, I give you the capability to create unlimited images on the FE. I have a front end, I have a fair use policy. On the pro, it's not there. Next, custom workflows that I talked about earlier, they're going to be a part of the pro version. I also give you the stock bin media library. Now, stock bin was my stock library, stock images, stock audio. It's got videos too. It's got a lot of different images, photographs that you can use. Now, you're gonna get it free with Pixci, but here is the best news. It's absolutely compatible with Pixci. So you could pick up a picture from stock bin, you could feed it into Pixci, change it a little bit. Let's say you picked up a beach scene and you use Pixci to introduce some element to it, maybe some model or some item that you want on the beach. You could do that. So that could be a great source material for you. Now I also created something that is called the prompt enhancer. So it's like the magic prompt creator. What happens is, I saw that when people were using the create image feature, they were spending a lot of time trying to figure out what to create. So if you wanted a lion, for example, you would need to actually imagine vividly how that lion looks, where is he standing, what kind of environment there is. And it takes a lot of time for human beings to put all of that detail together. And I thought there should be a better way. So why not use AI for that? So this magic prompt enhancer, what it does is, you feed it anything. You can feed it the most basic of the prompts, then it's going to use the imagination of AI to add detail. It's going to make everything vivid. It's going to make everything easy to do, and you will be able to create very vivid graphics with it, and without having to spend the time to think up that prompt. I'm going to take a couple of questions before I go to the next feature. Richard is asking me a very good question. Can you edit hand? So guys, I'm going to be fair to you. Hands are a problem with AIs. Sometimes they make 5 fingers, sometimes they make 6. This was more of a problem 6 months ago. Now, more or less, every single AI gets it right. But it's not about editing just hands. You can edit a lot more. And the good news with Pixci is you are future protected. 6 months down the line, there's going to be an AI that would actually do a great deal of, a great work of editing your hand to the detail, to the absolute detail, where you would actually be able to look at the fingertips and still see the realism in it. So that AI is going to be in Pixci. So that's the magic of Pixci, because I'm not selling you any particular AI. I'm selling you all of them. I'm giving you access to all of them. That's the point. Next, if you get the pro version, I'm going to give you 3 more AI models that are not even a part of the front end deal. These AIs are going to be available only to the pro buyers. I'll also give you commercial rights, which lets you use Pixci for your business. You can sell the images, you can provide the images as a part of your service. It's covered in Pixci Pro. Also, you get unlimited free upgrades. Now, here is the thing. I had so many different people in the webinar say to me, Cyril, I love the way you update your products. Russ said it, Lindsay said it, so many other people said it. That's the point of it. It takes time, effort, energy, money to maintain these products. And I definitely do a great job of it, because I do make money from the products, not just during the launch. I know that in our business, there are several people who just launch a product, make the money, and they just out of the business. They don't think or care about it anymore. What I do different is, I use the launch money as seed money, and then I continue investing in the product. I run ads for it, I run campaigns for it, I do a lot of publicity for the product, and I sell it over and over. Every month, I'm making sales for every single product. So I have a financing mechanism out there that's going to make me money from this product next year. That's going to make me money for this product from this product 5 years down the line. And guys, I want to tell you this. If you're going to buy a product, you're not just a user, you're an investor, and you need to care about these things. You need to care about where the product is heading. If you see that there's a dead end 2 months down the line, your investment is going to be taken away. So you need to be making sure that the guys you work with actually have a vision for this. Now, if you get the pro version from me today, I'm going to give you unlimited free upgrades. You would not have to pay for an upgrade again, only during the webinar. After the webinar, it's 2 years of free upgrade. But on the webinar today, only on this call, you're going to get unlimited free upgrades. All right. So Shan says, how can I mute the audio? I think you would need to hit the audio limit. I know you got a meeting, so carry on, and I will see you when you're back. Next, Pixie Reseller. This is a special offer, a webinar only, launch only offer. Once the launch is over, you will never have an opportunity to get this offer again. What is Pixie Reseller? I'm going to give you 70 licenses of Pixie that you can sell whenever you want at whatever price you want, and you would not need to pay me a single cent. You get paid the way you want, right? You just need to if you want to get paid by crypto, if you want to get paid by PayPal, or if you want to get paid in cash, or you just want to give away your license, it's none of my business. I'm going to give you 70 licenses that you can sell, and I'm going to make it super easy for you to sell them. How? Again, by keeping the products updated. My products are going to be updated 2 years down the line. You will be making money forever from this. You'll be making money this month, next month, the month after that. No hassle with that. Secondly, as soon as my launches are over, all of my products are recurring. So if you go to my website, technicforce.com, for example, today, right now, you would find that all of the products are recurring. You cannot buy a one-time price version at all, but you can give my buyers a better offer. If you want, you can sell them a one-time version, you can sell them a recurring version, get paid every month or every year, or sell it to them in one time, just get all of that money. On an average, I found that every single person who's bought the reseller from me has made money. It's not just about getting back the $197 that you might give me. It's about making a fat profit off it with a potential of about $9,000. But every single person who's got the reseller from me has made money invariably, just because the products are solid, right? So that's a product that's available to you only during the launch. Right after the launch, I'm gonna make reseller unavailable. I will not sell it anymore. I do not sell reseller versions of my past products now anymore, and that's what's gonna happen in the future too. Next in Pixie, this the next upgrade I have for you, AI Collective Pro. This is the text version of Pixie. So in Pixie, you get access to 25 different AI models that can create images. In AI Collective, you get access to 50 plus text models that can create text for you. So it's got ChatGPT 4, it's got ChatGPT 3.5, it's got ChatGPT 4.0, it's got Cloud Anthropic, Cloud Sonnet, all the different versions of Claude it has. It has Mistral, it has Llama 3, Llama 2. It has literally every single good quality AI out there that can work with text all in single places. And again, this is a no-brainer when it comes to value. Here is the deal. If you go out to ChatGPT today to get access to ChatGPT 4, you have to take up their $20 subscription, $20 a month. That's $240 a year. Now, if you wanted to get Claude 2, because of course everybody knows that Claude is better than ChatGPT, it's all over the press, and you go to Claude to get access to Anthropic Claude 3, you got to pay them $20. Guess what? That's another $240 a year. Now, then, if you wanted to get access to Llama 3, you would go to Perplexity or some other site, pay them $20. By the time you know to just get access to 5 different AIs that are in the news, you would be paying about $100 a year, $100 a month, or over $1,200 a year. Guess what? AI Collective has all of them. It has ChatGPT 4, it has Cloud, it has Mistral, it has Llama 3, it has every single AI that's gonna charge you $20 a month, and it gives you a single interface to talk to all of them. So no need to go to website A, website B, website C to talk to different AIs. In AI Collective Pro, you can just talk to all of them in a single place, and it's got all these crazy features like you can upload a PDF file and chat with the PDF file. I mean, you've seen programs that do that and charge you $50 a month, or even $100 a year. AI Collective Pro just has all of those features inbuilt right inside. Next, I have for you in this funnel the next upgrade, Easy Pro. Easy is the Pixie of voice. So what it does is it gets you access, no magic out there, no surprises. It gets you access to all the voice AIs and translation AIs out there. So it's got more than 500 voices in one place, and you don't have to pay the membership cost. You can create some really, really high quality audio, realistic audio with emotion, with feeling, with every single accent that you can imagine and every single language that AI supports. You can create it all with Voicy. Next, it also lets you create conversations. So you can put in a little drama script. I'm sure you have seen that before. Character name, then you put a little colon, then what the character says. Next line, character B, you put in the colon and what the character says. With that, you can actually have a podcast, you can have a discussion, you can have a debate. Now, you've seen videos on YouTube which use AI to create the videos. They do narratives, they do narrations, they do background voices, background voiceovers, but literally none of them do debates or conversations or podcasts. But with Voicy, you can create these things through AI. Next, you have Mighty Memes Pro in it. Mighty Memes Pro is a top quality memes creator. It's got thousands of templates in it. You can search a template by a keyword that fits your mood, that fits the trend right now. You can type in a little bit of text. No need to be a design expert, not even something like Canva can do this, because you have to place the text somewhere, you have to move the mouse, be a little bit of a designer. With this product, you don't need to be a designer at all. You even get recommendations of what kind of memes you can create, and you can just very easily create a meme, push it out to your social media, all with the click of a button using Mighty Memes. So all of these products together, if you put them together, the products will be Pixci AI Elite, which is worth $127. Then Pixci AI Pro, Pixci AI Reseller, which is only available during the launch. Voeasy AI, AI Collective, Mighty Memes. The total real world value of this entire set of software is a north of $2,000. Now, if you go and try to find alternatives for this product pack out there in the market, you would be literally paying double that, right? And maybe you won't even get all of what it has. Think about, is there a way to get access to 25 different graphics AIs? I can't think of one. Is there a way to get access to all the 50 top language models? There's none. Is there a way to get access to all the different AI, voice AIs out there? No. There is literally no alternatives for the products that I have on this. Like I told you, AI is now the lifeblood of my company. Everything I create today is AI centered. It's all about AI. That's what I'm focusing on. And that's why I'm rolling out all these crazy high value products for you. So today on this launch, on this call, for my audience, that is all you wonderful people, I have a very, very special deal. It's a secret deal for the webinar where I'm going to give you this product for not 2,212, for not 297, and not even for $247, which some of my partners, my affiliates might be able to give you. I will give you only on this webinar the entire set of products for $237. The coupon for this is Pixie Secret, guys, and you can pick it up from the website. I'm gonna put it in chat too.